Hi guys, hello, meet everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene, and today, of course, we're going to take about artificial intelligence. That is our topic for today. That will be the first hour of this will be on artificial intelligence and robotics. The second hour will be pretty much the usual arrangement of stuff. So for the first hour, we do have a structured plan video topic, and then the second hour we can deal with the normal routine. And so, first of all, I don't see anybody here right now yet. But let me go ahead and just let people know that we are online in case they did not know. So let me just go ahead and type something real quick here. We are now online. And I'm going to make the screen bigger, and so we can all see the screen. Because it's last time I noticed that it was too small. People have a hard time seeing it. When they're watching the replay on the phone. Oh, that's a little bit too big. Yeah, that would be good for some things. Okay, that's good. So we are going to be going to deal with some of that fun stuff of online chat and things like that. We will be taking phone calls, but as I said, the first topic is going to be on robotics and artificial intelligence, and then the second topic will be on other issues, so that way we can all enjoy some of the modern technology and discussions. I want to keep things pretty much let's see, we have some people on already, so let's switch over to that screen. Put my overlay up and put the phone number up, and then we'll get started here with Discover questions right now. And that way we can all see everybody. And yes, I will turn the phone on. Just bear with me, man. Okay, so I got the phone on now. He says, R11830, I'm here cleaning all the gym. Okay, so that's fine. You can just listen. And we're going to start with artificial intelligence and robotics, and that's our main topic for today. We're going to start with that, as I said, and for the first hour or so, and then after that we will do it in a normal routine, so you can, don't feel too like you're not going to be able to get a chance to do your normal routines. Artificial intelligence and robotics have come a long way. When I grew up, in the 1970s and 80s, robots, when I kept hearing them in science fiction movies and stuff, was a fantasy. We didn't really have actually knowledge of robotics or science. And we just knew it was like we saw robots like Buck Rogers to the 25th century, which was a remake of that TV series in the 80s, and I watched that. That was pretty good. And of course we also had the Star Wars movies as well, with R2-D2 and C-3PO, two androids. Now, or droids. Now, the thing is technically, when you hear the word android, it usually implies an automaton that is like a human being in general structure. So C-3PO would be an android. R2-D2, his little companion, was a bit different. He wasn't an android, but he was a mobile data gathering device that would gather information as they did from the Death Star itself. Now, the R2-D2, if there was a real R2-D2 today, of course, would be pretty much with just think of it as a mobile thumb drive or hard drive on wheels. Not very exciting. But of course, George Lucas, when he created the Star Wars trilogy, starting with Episode 3, of course, robots were still just a dream at that point. Now we have robots like Sophia, which is walking around today, walking freely, because in 2018 at CES, she received her first pair of artificial legs and has learned to walk on her own ability instead of being carried from place to place. Now, you might not think that's important, but the whole idea is that robots becoming self-aware and self-autonomous. These devices are going to become our future's helpmeets for us. Now, some people talk about this, what they call the singularity, and that's a very good concept. When you think of when robots have become, they are, reaching to the point where they will be self-aware, able to make their own decisions based on circumstances around them. Which means once they reach that point of cognizance where they can think by themselves and act upon themselves, that means that they are going to be, of course, as we see in the movie iRobot, the one that sooner than later they will be, of course, accountable for their actions. At this point, even Alexa and Siri and the other one there, Google. What's her name? I keep forgetting. It's not Cortana. Cortana is the Microsoft one, but yeah, all those personal data assistants, these software programs, and they are software at this point. For example, Alexa doesn't walk into your home and ask you nicely, "Would you like more coffee? Would you like some tea?" It's not like you can go to, say to her nicely, "Hey, could you tell me how my sports teams are doing today?" There's no practical way for her to do that yet, where she can actually be fully autonomous and walking around the home. However, Sophia is capable of doing that, and Sophia is designed as a social robot, meaning she's designed to interact with human beings in a way the human beings could understand. We also see in a movie called Cherry 3000 that we hear about what they call the sex bots. These robots are basically autonomous blow-up dolls. Well, right now we're talking about artificial intelligence and robots at this time. So I think that question we can talk about in the second half of the program. Good idea. Okay, so let's give. So what you're saying. So now with these what they call sex bots, one company that makes lifelike silicone dolls is now beginning to work on making robots out of sex dolls. And these cost about $12,000, and they are customizable to your specifications. You can change your hair, their eyes, their skin, everything, their voice, their personality. But as a sex bot, they're not quite as self-aware as Sophia. Oh no! You can stay You can stay and listen if you want. We are just going to be covering, as I said, for the first hour or so. We're going to covering about technology, and in the second hour we will be covering the general type of banter we usually cover. So that's would be more appropriate for hour number 2. That's the reason why we're trying to put some structure here onto this page instead of having everything kind of just getting a little bit crazy. So now it's appropriate the question for the second part. But since you're here, Joshua, what do you think of robotics and artificial intelligence now that machines are becoming more self-aware? We have many examples of that, of things like Alexa, Siri, Cortana, and a few other things in Google that are quite capable now of being doing things by just listening to our instant requests instead of us typing in some cryptic robotic language, like say in the Bash shell or even in some Windows program. So how do you feel about the new technologies that have becoming the current technology of the future? Now, Elon Musk has been a little more supportive of it, whereas the late Stephen Hawking, was gravely concerned about this technology. Well, okay, but he's not a robot, and so do you know anything about robots? When I say robots, I'm talking about devices that are non-human. Well, let me ask you a question about something else. Well, okay, he played a robot, but what about real robot? Okay, RoboCop. Well, now they actually are designing real RoboCops. They actually are designing them in Russia. The robotic cop, the robotic soldier. Of course, they're also creating, you could say, the beginnings of the Borg as well, which is robot-human interfaces. That's been around for a while. Where robots are fusing with technology from human beings. Say, for example, $6 Million Man or even Wonder Woman. We see that today. We see many human beings walking around with prosthetics or bionic parts. For example, artificial legs, such as the Utah hand. These devices are quite awesome to think about how we human beings have been, who because of injuries or accidents, are able to have an arm or hand to replace the damaged appendage. They're even working on an artificial digestive tract. That's right. In other words, a bionic gut, if you will. Right now, the bionic gut that they have designed is designed to take human waste and break it down for robots to make it into energy that they need. It's not yet to the point where you can take, say, for example, a bowl of cereal and make energy out of it, but it's getting to the point where human sewage could be used to power the robots of the future instead of using a mains adapter and plugging it into a power supply. Why would you say the bionic elbow is one of the most devastating moves of all time? You do realize that an elbow or an arm itself, the wrist is one of the most complicated organ structures of the arm. That is because of the amount of bones in the wrist area. You don't really think about it, but when I can do this with my wrist, that takes a very special type of joint. Elbow, there's actually two parts. There's part that goes up and down, and that's about it. Just go up and down. It's not that hard to understand. So the elbow itself is not really that complicated to understand. When he says the moves, I think he's talking about something else. Oh, okay. He's talking about something from wrestling, I think. We also know that through the an exoskeleton technology, robot soldiers now, for example, on the battlefield can carry a lot more weight than they could otherwise. And let's not forget Asmount, which is basically a very important Japanese design from Honda, which is still being perfected to help those people who may need help to get things done. That's a big step in the right direction. Okay. What do you guys think of Sophia? Sophia the robot from Hanson Robotics. What do you think, Lum? I think Sophia's got a lot of capabilities as far as her access to internet software is really impressive. Yeah. Well, R11H30 says Sophia is scary. Why would you say Sophia is scary? Is it because she has access to so much information? Or is there some other reason that you find Sophia scary? Again, he's referring to WrestleMania or wrestling, so I think R11830 is trying to keep it on the topic, but the Joshua is talking about wrestling. Okay, well, we're talking about the Android stuff, yeah, we're not talking about wrestling right now, but still, okay. So R11830, what is it about Sophia that you find scary? What do you think scary about Sophia? I don't think Sophia is scary. I see her as a very fascinating technology from Hanson Robotics. Compared to some of his earlier robot designs, she is the most likable. Oh no, you can talk about the stuff you want behind the back. But I mean, if you want us to answer your questions, we're gonna try to focus on our topics. If you want to banter behind, in the audience, if you will, you certainly can do so. We have no problem with that. Okay, so let me ask this question. Okay, what's that? Okay, related to the TNCC thing. Okay, now let's say everything was true. And let's flash the story forward to 19, or make it 2000 even. Okay. And then let's say it was a relative that say had passed away, maybe at the early, maybe 16 years old. Would they be able to take that person's intelligence and implant it into a robot or android? That's one of the goals that some people are working on right now, is to create ways that we could become immortal through having our memories and our thoughts and our brain information uploaded to a piece of hardware, for the reason that then we would basically be able to live pretty much forever, because we would just be able to be transferred from generations of robots to the next generation. Yeah, but doesn't that mean that if everybody is basically updated, would there actually be a reason to even have human beings? Well, that's a great question. I don't know, because the people that are doing this are clearly thinking of a day when we're going to hit the singularity. No, actually, Joshua, we were talking about the Sophia the robot. It was created by Hanson Robotics. Okay, go on. So, what was you saying? I was just saying was this, with the whole idea of that we would never physically die. I mean, we would live forever. I mean, what would happen though is, what if only some people were selected to be repeated? What if only some people were allowed to be considered reproducible because of their skill set or whatever? I would think that some of the things that we would see in the sciences would be, what about everyday people? This seems like if the technology is only looking for the brightest and the fittest and the smartest, there'd be no room for everyday people. Where we see that now in the technical trades, where, I mean, you don't need, for example, because of automation, we don't need people in construction to do common labor anymore. We have robots that can go out there in the job site and build walls and put things together. In the future, there'll be more of that, where you have buildings basically being assembled by a robot on the site. Yeah, that's they're already kind of doing that now to some extent. For example, a California restaurant hired a hamburger flipping robot. They can cook as many as 12 hamburgers at a time. Now, what happened was after his first day in the job, he was dismissed for reasons I'm not quite sure. But I think maybe because maybe he was too good, and that maybe they just couldn't keep him up, keep him busy. That's another thing too when you start getting into robots, of course, is what happens if the robot has nothing to do? Robots are designed, in the case of industrial robots, and possibly in the case of this burger flipping robot, to basically do lots of tasks very quick, and with those tasks they do very quick, they do them very well. But obviously that means that, well, what if they don't need that many? What if they don't need 12 hamburgers? What if they only need one? Does the robot have any way of figuring out how many hamburgers it needs to make? No, but a human being. A human being, again, this robot is a cooking robot. He has no artificial intelligence. How you doing, Ted? Today, as I've explained already, is we're talking about robotics and artificial intelligence for the first hour. And then after that, we're going to go on and have our normal, everyday other chat. Okay, what was I saying? You were talking about how robots can't. In these cases, these robots are designed to do a job at a certain performance level. Yeah, absolutely true. But again, what happens to all the human beings that are going to be out of a job? And we talked about this once before. It's like you can have all these robots running around doing all your jobs, but what are people going to do? See, that's the problem when we talk about when the robots reach the point we call the singularity. Is what's going to happen to the rest of us, human flesh. I mean, if you ever watch, like, some of the TV shows in the market, so, again, like I said, hi, Ted, and, by the way, Ted, what do you think about robots? Ted Logan, what do you think about robots? I'm talking about things like, we can talk about the sci-fi ones, robots like Terminator and RoboCop, which actually he's not a robot. No, but he's definitely more, or even the $6 Million Man, or Bionic Woman. Well, I mean, did you know that Hanson Robotics did design a male robot as well? Well, you're in luck, because there is a company that makes robot sex bots. That cost about $12,000, and they're totally customized. You can get them with any kind of features you want. I forgot which company it was. If you look at my playlist, you'll see it there in the technology playlist. It's called Harmony. HARMONEY. Now, Harmony is a robot that is a sex bot. Her job is to do your wishes. She's said to be fully functional, and I suspect that means also sexually as well. I don't know if she can walk. She's fully functional. I wonder how much she can do. Yeah, because I know Sophia, however, just got legs in 2018 CES. Sophia just got her first leg. Well, you can get in contact with a company that makes Harmony, and you can custom design that. You guys can look it up on the internet. Let me just tell you what to search for the robot. Let me type this in here. The current sex bot is called HARMONEY. She, no, it's no E. Okay, there isn't? No, it's just Harmony. And she is for sale. Custom order. Customers ordered design for about string $12,000 plus shipping. So yeah, you can search for that on Google. You can actually get her for about $12,000 plus shipping, and she's customizable. You can get your own custom hair, your own custom face, your own custom voice, your own custom eye color, whatever you want. And she's designed to, as I understand from the manufacturer, who originally made silicone sex dolls. That's how he got into the industry, was making sex dolls. And so he could decide to try robotics, and he created Harmony. Unfortunately, the company does not, at this point, have a male sex bot yet. No, I already said once before, my season is over. My season ended on the 20th of March. So this is something else, completely different. Yeah, I think we should kind of wish that it didn't snow at all. And I've also heard that we may get some snow on the 7th of another nor'easter coming this way. God. Alright, so now, let me ask this question. Michelle, given what we now know about the past, my past, which is very little because TNCC has not released a copy of the dialogue he had with the communicant, or the person he talked to at the church in Helsinki. What do you think would happen? Do you think there would be any way that somebody would actually decide to create and take my prior past history and put it into a robot? Well, you have to understand, that honest to do that, we'd have to do two things. We'd have to basically, since you and I don't quite remember your past, we'd have to take your diaries, your journal entries from 1835 to 1910, and we would have to take all that stuff, transcribe it from Finnish into English for now, which would help with AI software called Google Translate. Then we could put that into personal PAI project, which when they're ready to start taking information gathering, and that would then become your avatar, right? And then eventually, when they come up with a affordable Android, like someone like Sophia. Yeah, Sophia would be cool. I wouldn't mind having her flush. It would be pretty good, yep. Or even Harmony, but Harmony at this point is designed to be fairly simple. She doesn't have as many features as Sophia. Right. But anyway, the point is then you can take that information and create an artificial personality. My season's already over, guys. Michelle doesn't mind that. It's over. Her season's over for the year. But there could also be potential problems too. That any technology is problematic, and this is definitely. I haven't seen this actually being done yet. No. Right now, we don't even have heat yet because my landlord is supposedly going to have the electrician come look at the boiler and get things fixed. I don't know. But you need to contact Harmony's creator. His job is specifically is originally silicone sex dolls. As far as can she do that function? Well, she's designed originally as a sex bot, so I would suspect that there must be some answer to that. You probably can answer your question on his website for Harmony. Yeah, I'm sure he's probably. He says she's fully capable of. So I suspect that means that would be within her realm of possibility. So what happens when we reach the singularity? I mean, like I said, are human beings going to have a chance to actually compete, or will the robots actually be like in the Cylons of Battlestar Galactica, where they actually decide to terminate all the creators? That's a great question. The Cylons. Yeah, think about it. The newer Cylons in the newer Battlestar Galactica, they were more human-like than the original Cylons. And they were quite capable of being, quite nice looking. No. No. No, Michelle's not into that kind of stuff. No. Okay. I know we can still technically. I think at this point, Lim, I think we can almost pretty much just say is that, no one, does anybody have any, I'm not, quite good at that. Anyway, it's really not my thing. Alright, so since pretty much, do you have anything else you have to mention about the androids? No, not at this point. I think we pretty much said our piece. Now, does anybody have any questions? Because we're going to go on to the regular part of the program at this point. Well, TNCC said he has the facts. So ask TNCC to get his materials out there for us to see. I'm just as interested to see what he's got as you guys are. And it sounds like from what he was talking about on the impromptu live stream when he released a hot button topic, he sounded like he was totally surprised. Yeah. Well, right now he doesn't. He actually had an interview with somebody from the church that had access to records, and so he doesn't actually have all the documents, because the documents, they said, would cost him about 30 euros to get, plus shipping, and he didn't want to spend that kind of money, which I don't particularly blame him. But still, they gave him enough information for him to. Plus, they said that the church records also have copies of my information, my artifacts in the past. In my case, I died of old age. 1910. March 11th, 1910. Yeah. Quite a long life, actually. Yeah, it was a pretty long life. So, I mean, calculate yourself, okay? If you were 1910, I was about, 60 years old? Well, let's go to the calculator. Let's check this out. Let's go check out the calculator. Okay, so we got 1910, 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 0, minus 1, 8, 3, 5, equals 75 years old, which for a woman in 1910, 75 years old was pretty much the peak. Most people didn't even last past 60. It was hard life back then. Right. No, I was not. No, I was a normal woman. I was a normal woman that took care of my daughter, my father. He died a few years after my mother did, apparently, as TNCC had also pointed out. And that was really interesting because there's just so much interesting history and there's so much synchronicity based on what he shared. He sounded really spooked in that chat. Unfortunately, the actual full live chat from that night didn't actually stay on the screen. So I'm waiting to see whenever that recorded chat actually shows up, that we could share that. Just like if you look at this chat, there actually is two parts to this. The part that we are mirroring is the same chat that you would see. Well, actually, this is the top chat. Ah, okay. So I'll switch over to live chat. Go ahead, call you in here. Hello. Okay. So the new ability now is that you can now actually watch replays of the chats, even if I don't show them on the screen like we do, which could be an asset considering last night's chat, which TNCC went out there and told us this information. He, and I believe R11H30 was part of that. I think you were too, Ted. Unfortunately, the YouTube processing still has not been but you know, the thing is that the phone line is really not meant to be tied up with music right now. So what do you guys think about the other thing, the whole concept that TNCC has brought up to the table, if you will? What do you think about it? I mean, are you kind of questioning yourself? Do you like saying to yourself, does that make any sense to you? Does it seem like it's, I mean, if you ask me, it does scan. Well, that's the reason I asked R11H30 for him to prove the facts, since he said he did talk to somebody from the church records, and he said that there is information that confirms what I've said. And if that's true, then that means that Michelle, unfortunately, also kind of puts a big big hole in TNCC's balloon, because TNCC has been wanting to create ways to make me look like a moron, or what they sometimes people call an LOLCOW. However, the term moron applies in this case. Right, but in this case now, that's not the case, because this is one of the most biggest ways to basically put a hole in this balloon, because what's he gonna say if the Church of Finland says yes, this is indeed true? then everything he's been told is like, now what? Because Lumi will no longer, I'll be able to poke fun at because there's too much evidence that says that she's matched. He actually, when I read the chat yesterday, he sounded spooked. What is a locale? I never heard of that term before, seriously. Basically, he's a moron. M-O-R-O-N, moron. Somebody you make fun at. Somebody who's like a class clown or a person that's kind of stupid that you basically think is a moron. Well, that's what technically what an LOLCOW is. It's some of the new techniques, some of the new speak that they use. So, and I'm sure Mr. Laugh would probably agree with me on this, is now, like I said, that TNCC has got to totally come up with a whole new angle. Because, unfortunately, this information totally ripped the rug out from underneath his feet. I have no honest... In a way, you kind of do. If you think about it, well, some of the stuff that you do to razz them up is pretty much milking, if you think about it. It's not really like... Yeah, it's definitely what you do, is kind of razz them up. But in this case, because we are not like that, and Michelle does not normally go out there and start doing stupid things on a regular basis. Yeah, on a regular basis. Although I've had my days when I've said stupid things, trust me. It's just a very interesting situation. Speaking of TNCC, he did say that he wasn't going to be on tonight, which obviously is why we don't see him here. I don't know where Mr. Laugh is. I don't know where Ruben is. Well, it's Monday night, 7:42. If Ruben is around, he will probably be on in a little bit. Because he's on usually around 7 o'clock. And he has dinners with his friends. And by the way, for those of you who wondered, did I see my lady friend at the soup kitchen today? No, she was not there today. I didn't see her last Monday either, so I think she has something going on Mondays. Right. Well, anyway, you can't expect her to be there every day. Wait, we don't know her schedule. We have no idea what her schedule is. Right, and this is the only reason we had it today instead of during the normal Sunday, was because Sunday was Easter and Sunday was April Fool's Day. And as I've explained once before, is I've had to suffer enough fools. I don't need to have a whole day dedicated to them, because I got a feeling that would be just a bit too much. So, since I had a good excuse not to do an April Fool's broadcast, since, of course, it was Easter, I figured let Jesus have his day and pay him respect. And that's what we did. And, so we are having a live stream, of course, on Wednesday. And we are going to have a live stream also on Sunday of next week. So we will, be back to our normal schedule. So, this was only just a special event. Now, does anybody have any questions that they would like me to answer, or me or Lumi to answer? So if you guys have any questions, we'd be willing to look at them and try to answer them as best we can. Not that we're going to always be able to have an answer, but we'll try. So let's see what you can, because we covered so much material right now. We covered about artificial intelligence. We covered about the robotic singularity. We have talked about the possibility in the future that they're going to be able to imprint your memories and personality into robots in the future. where we can create, Lorena, Annette, what was the last one? You forgot it? Oh my god. Fishburne. Fishburne. So, that's Lorena, Annette, Fishburne. And that's spelled Laurena space ANNETTE space FISHBURN. Now, I got a feeling that TNCC got a English version of the name. I got a feeling that the original name when finished, the Lorena part is probably originally finished. But Annette doesn't sound right because somehow that's a French name. Annette is a French name. Well, I didn't forget that on purpose. It's just that we are only given pieces of our past as we need to. We don't always remember everything of the past. Michele, for example, has been on this earth 33 times. Michele doesn't remember all her names for those 33 lives. And, or everything that she did in all those 33 lives. When we die, all that information is uploaded to filing in the other side. Hold on, let's take this call. Go ahead, call. You're on the air. Hello. Okay, any kin to Lawrence? Who's Lawrence? I don't do readings, but there are people who do. Rebecca Marina Messenger does readings. The late Sylvia Brown used to do readings, but I don't have that ability. Right, I don't either. Hold on a minute. Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending John Steve.
That was from Donald Trump's speeches about the situation with the immigrants, and it still is an issue to this day. And speaking of that, isn't it funny that DACA has basically died on the floor? Yep. Because unfortunately, the Democrats have given DACA an abortion. Isn't that suck? It's true. Okay, let's get back to the question. Oh, and the next one. Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, who's this?
I got a question. Wait, hold on. Is it true that all, hold on, so what are your thoughts on the politics, Ghost in the Capitalist Army, and Ghost of True Capitalist Radio?
Could you try that again? Because it kind of got me lost there.
Hold on. I basically, do you know, what are your thoughts on Ghost of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast? And so what are your thoughts on the true meaning of friendship of, from that place far away, and there's talking forces, multicolored?
I still don't understand exactly what you're trying to say. Can you just...
So, do you mean the true meaning of friendship? Like, the true meaning of friendship from the school of friendship all the way in, True Capitalist on My Little Pony? My Little Pony? Because I'm a brony, bro. I clap people because Pickle Rick. Free! I'm Pickle Rick! I'm Pickle Rick! I'm Pickle Rick! I'm Pickle... My God, jeez!
Well, are you talking about the wrestling thing? Or are you talking about the Donald Trump thing? Or are you talking about... What are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about the My Little Pony, because Twilight is best pony, Pinkie Pie is best pony. Like, seriously, My Little Pony is... You should watch it. It's a good show.
Okay, Logan, if you could, Ted, if you can help me translate what you're saying, it'd be easier for me, because I'm having some hard time. I'm talking
Do you understand My Little Pony, Rick and Morty? Because if we mix it up, we do it for the Empire of Delirium. Like, seriously, like, I don't know why. I go on Durkyboru every goddamn time. I search up Pony. I also play the game Pony Town. It's a web browser game, Pony Town, and believe it or not, I go on the 18 server and I basically loot My Little Pony characters, especially that shitstone guy. You know, go off, he's a piece of trash. But seriously, like, hold on.
Well,
I got this My Little Pony plushie. I think it's a Little Pip. No, not really Little Pip. It's like, I have this from the custom I won from an auction last year, and I basically ejaculated on it. So, yeah, I basically ejaculated on that stuff. And don't forget, I have a fursuit and Kurigami fetish. Like, I go on. Okay,
see, are you talking about the Donald Trump message that was being played?
No, it's not Donald Trump. It's not Donald Trump or John Cena, since the John Cena's dead meme. Well, Donald Trump's our good president. He's also a brony. Donald Trump, he told me... Oh, wait, speaking of Donald Trump, he has a talk show live from the Trump Towers every Sunday. He was supposed to do it on Easter, but he didn't, because it's basically an April Fool's joke. Donald Trump does a talk show. And, oh, by the way, Donald Trump, there's a show called The Trump Show. Yeah, it's after the events of the what's it called? Oh, yeah, the Apprentice. Since he's no longer the host, he's doing a show called The Trump Show, a talk show. The second episode was a complete disaster because terrorist stroke, and, yeah, there's like the terrorist stroke, and it happened on Roblox. Just go YouTube Donald Trump Show, Roblox Trump Show. Well, seriously, it's a good show, and believe it or not, Donald Trump has talked about multiple things, and by the way, MicheleMarieDalene, and by the way, I got a question for this. Like, there's this guy named hold on, I went on the True Capitalist Radio chat room, and no, not really. I was thinking about this. I'm in the La Casa. No. And believe it or not, like, I don't even get this. Like, there's this guy. You should do Radio Graffiti, Radio Graffiti, and you should do give out shout-outs. Like, there's Gab.ai, Politics Ghost, and he's a pretty cool guy. You should listen to his broadcast. He gives out the truth, talking out about the.
Well,
actually, I lied. April Fools, I lied. Oh, by the way, wait. Oh, by the way, go to your browser, pony.town, and you will,
I'm just...
Wait. Hold on, So wait, stay, keep me online. I gotta do something really fast, 1 second.
All right. Well, let me ask you a couple of questions.
Wait. And hold on. I found something. Hold on.
Okay, my turn. Okay. Now my question for you is, we had a couple different topics on tonight. Are you talking about WrestleMania?
No, it's not. It's Moon Man. It's Moon Man. It's Moon Man.
Okay, you know that WrestleMania, I think, is going to be available. I think WrestleMania this year is going to be on YouTube as a pay-per-view thing. Is that the case? Is that right, guys? Is WrestleMania going to be on YouTube as a pay-per-view event? Because I think it is. Because I think I read somewhere that it would be on the YouTube as a pay-per-view event. But I don't know much more about it than that. I only watched very few WrestleManias. I've not really gotten into it when it became the WWE too much. I remember when it was the WWF, the World Wrestling Federation. Oh, the WWE Network. Okay, is that on the YouTube? Because I know that there is a WWE channel on YouTube.
No, that was Moon Man. Moon Man. That was Moon Man.
Okay.
Oh, and it's a song Notorious KKK. Yeah, it's a pretty cool song. Oh, by the way,
Ted says, I hear Donald Trump is making an appearance on WrestleMania. No, it might be, because he was on a couple wrestling matches in the past. They didn't actually wrestle anyone for real, though. So are you cool with me putting you in the mix? I really think you could get the spot. It would be boost your online presence. I don't really think I would really be a good candidate for that, because there's so many reasons why. I don't know any of the new guys nowadays in wrestling. So I think that kind of would make it a little harder for me. I mean, some people really, of course, look really up to wrestling a lot. And I'm not... I used to be when I was in high school, but as I go... You want me to take this call? Go ahead, Lou. Go ahead, you're on the air.
Man, how about you get on my bed? We'll have one-on-one, man.
And where's this place?
Man, this is your nigga Keyshawn.
Excuse me?
My nigga. You're my nigga Keyshawn. I'm your nigga Keyshawn.
Is this Tequila?
No, Keyshawn. Bitch.
Oh. So, anyway, caller, what's your question?
I was wondering if you could get on that bed and do a little one-on-one. Show me your genitals, bitch.
So, are you looking forward to watching the WrestleMania like the majority of the other members of my audience are?
Yeah, I want to fuck all those wrestlers in the air.
You like it or don't like it?
I like fucking them.
Okay. So, I remember I watched a cage match between Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper on pay-per-view many years ago. On paper, that was pretty definitely. Hulk Hogan turned Roddy Piper into a Leroy Braun. He certainly had a couple pieces gone when he was done. No kidding.
Man, I don't understand any of that shit.
So, anyway, so what? Okay, since we covered a few different topics, what do you think about robots and robotic?
Robots? That's sexy as shit, man. I'll fuck this shit. I'll fuck them if they were my nigga.
You don't like robots either?
I like robots if they're fuckable.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would be able to be fucked in these little eggs.
Because, I mean, they've got now where you can have robots that can do almost anything you could ever imagine. I mean, they got now to the point where they can...
but what I really want is your pussy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so my R11H30. Me too. I'm adjusting the sound as best I can to fix it. But because we're trying to understand exactly what you're saying, and I'm adjusting the EQ to try to bring the sound so it... Alright, so, what do you think of the show so far?
I think if you show us your dick, you'll be real nice.
Well, anyway, thank you for calling. I'm sorry we couldn't really understand you that well. We're trying to understand what you're saying and just having the worst luck.
Alright.
So, oh, really? You think so? Oh my god. Very interesting. Go ahead, caller, on the air.
I know you are.
What's up?
He's boss. Why I'm here. I'm here to support Donald Trump. And just win, baby.
Fred Williamson is boss nigga.
So, Fred, get over here for a second, Fred. Come here. That was so nice. I love people that hit hard. We need people that hit hard.
Alright, it's enough. We got enough topics to do. Alright, let's talk about that. As I said, the Democrats have aborted their DACA. It is dead on the floor. And, of course, Donald Trump ripped him a new asshole. Why? Because he said this, I was going to work with you with DACA, and they killed their own DACA. That was one of his speeches. He actually had used, the person is actually playing back some of his speeches. So, it was one of the speeches that he did. It's same to the last one about talking about the rapists and all that. Yeah, I know. But I thought DACA was their love child that they wanted to create. So why would they kill their own love child? Probably because they realized they weren't going to get what they wanted. Which is no wall. Oh, okay. So, in other words, they killed one thing that they wanted so bad because Donald Trump wants the wall. Because Donald Trump now sees that there's a huge caravan of 1,500 plus people coming towards the United States to storm the borders. And Mexico is letting them do it. Well, it probably is. Because right now, like I said, it's more like it's DIRT right now. Dirt. Yeah, it's in a grave, GRAVE, and it's covered with dirt. So now Donald Trump wants the U.S. military to get involved to defend our borders, and that is appropriate under the Constitution. It certainly is. The military is designed to protect our country. So if that means having U.S. military, such as the National Guard, on the front line, along with the immigrations, they have the right to be there. You think that Congress is going to authorize that? I don't know. Would they? I don't know. Good question. Okay, now Congress is a big giant question mark of what they're going to support. So, I'm sure if there's going to be anybody who tries to go sneak behind anybody, they're going to certainly shoot them on sight. You can bet that things are getting bad enough that I wouldn't be surprised if they did declare the equivalent of martial law on the border. In other words, you go run for the border, it might be the last move you ever make. Because the border towns can't really handle the saturation at this point. Especially all the people from Honduras. So we'll have to see what happens. But I think it's going to be a very interesting situation. Yeah, it's definitely going to be an issue. That, unlike, say, Germany, which is basically saying, is we going to take all these illegals in. Let's take care of this one call. Go ahead, call right here. Okay, no answer. Any questions, guys? I can hear the crickets out there. Yeah. Actually, if there are any crickets out there in real life, they'd be shivering. I don't think it would be making cricket sounds. Well, we know realistically crickets don't shiver. No. Okay. No questions, I'm surprised. Could we show them any information? Okay. That's why. Okay, so people are watching the wrestling and watching us at the same time. Well, I'll tell you what. I think that tonight's... I never really thought about that question, Ted. I don't really know if I'm ready to answer that question at this point. But I know that there's a guy that considered dating a robot. And he did try dating a robot. But, when was the last time I slept with a man and a woman? Last night. Actually, Michelle slept with a woman, let's say, about pretty much from 3 to 6 tonight. Right, because Dory's taking a nap in the bedroom. So Dory is laying in bed right now taking a nap. I was laying next to her. Because I was kind of trying to keep warm because it was a little cold because the heat's not working right now. The landlord's going to get the boiler fixed. Let's take the caller. Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Let me tell you something right now, and I'll say it again. If I ever see Barack Obama out here in the San Antonio streets, I'm going to kick the bejesus out of this idiot. Give it. You freaking belt off. That's what you need, boy. Yeah, that's what you... Yeah. Son of a bitch.
Alright, that's enough of that. I don't disagree with the message either, but... Alright, to answer your question... No, that didn't do anything. To answer the question to both people is, do me and her have any relationship? No. Me and the lady went to lunch, okay, on Saturday, okay? And it was a nice, quiet lunch. And, she invited me to have fish for lunch. It was baked scrod and vegetables. Hold on a minute. Go ahead, caller, on the air. No. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't know. No, she did not. So let me finish. As far as me and the lady, no, we did not have any relationships. For me and Dory, no, we did not have any fling. We just were both tired. So we just basically slept, took a nap. And then I had to basically, get up to start the live stream. So I kind of start getting, organized about 6:30. And that's where I'm here. So, Well, I don't disagree with that. I mean, I think she's got issues. That's clearly something reason why I think the other lady's a much better candidate, because me and the other lady are very similar thinking. I figure you of all people, Michelle, would be able to tell. Yeah. Well, like I said, right now, Dory's just a roommate, so she's just kind of helping to offset the operating expenses. And in exchange, I give her a place to sleep, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I'm gonna need to take a quick powder myself. So if you guys could talk amongst yourself for a little bit, and I will be right back. Okay? Hold on, guys. Okay, I'm back, and so let me see, what did I miss? Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but yeah, that's what Joan Rivers said too. But wrestling matches and practice. If you had asked me that when I was, out of high school, I could have done a better job at it since I was more current with what was going on. Now, powder as and I had to take a pee. Alright, so let's see, how are we doing here? Okay. Yep, camera's working. I always try to check to make sure the camera's working. Alright, so let's see, what's the next thing? Yeah, so is heroin. Unfortunately, I have a friend who had a very bad event with heroin, and he's kind of almost in the same state as Stephen Hawking is, except at least he can kind of partially move. I'm not really into wrestling, like I explained, Joshua. I really am not into wrestling. As I said, if you would ask me when I was when I was first out of high school, I probably would have been more interested. But really, I don't really have much interest in the field. Sorry. Alright, so make sure you get some time. Okay. So, how do you guys think the video is playing today? I mean, do you think the video right now is looking pretty good, or would you give me? Well, I do return favors for the money that I get from disability. Like for example, I volunteer at the SIP kitchen, and excuse me, this is is thinking about merchandising on this channel, which is that I'm thinking about getting into selling t-shirts and hats and snow shovels and scarves, merchandising to help offset the operating costs of this channel. Unfortunately, the few companies that have contacted me at this point require a huge amount of outlay to make it feasible. Realistically, I'd have to get quite a few people buying our products. Making money from a job that you can work from home is better than welfare. Is less than welfare. Is less nice. As they're saying, how eating at the soup kitchen is volunteering. Because I help make sure that the soup kitchen has coffee on hand and pastries in the morning. I'm the one who makes sure that they don't run out of coffee. I'm the one who makes sure the bathroom and the ladies' room is clean and things like that. So it's not like I do just sit around and just drink coffee and, just sit there. I do more than that. There's a lot of things about me you don't know. I do in the background. Likewise, I also volunteer in other ways in the community as well. And that's something I think a lot of people really need to get to know me better to understand. It is true that this channel here at this point isn't making any money at all. I'm not really complaining about that. But I also volunteer as I said, for people can come to me and ask me questions, and I help them out. I provide advice. That counts for something. There's a lot of people in this world that really need help. They need advice, they need suggestions. And it doesn't make them bad people. At all. It does not make them bad people at all. I had a job opportunity. I still have a job opportunity. Okay? Merchandising. This channel here, I'm thinking, as I said, about selling merchandise. The problem is I haven't seen a merchandise supplier company that provides American-made products that would be, something that a North American snow queen would sell. Let's see. Because the problem is with the job you offered is it's not anything Michele knows how to do. Michele explained that to you. She's not into wrestling anymore. If you asked her that out of high school, she probably would have said yes. But, that was a long time ago. I graduated in 1987. You figure it out. That's almost 31 years. 31 years. And think about this, guys. How much has the world changed in 31 years? Number one, the WWE was called the WWF. You didn't know that. Some of you, of course, I'm sure do. Vince McMahon was a lot younger then, and so was his wife, Linda McMahon, which is now the cabinet member of the Small Business Administration. Yeah. I understand that. And I was a teenager back then. I don't run a cat shelter. That was something I tried to explain to you. I only have 4 cats. And those 4 cats are pretty much all I'm going to ever have. That's the 4 cats. That one of them was a stray cat in the building. He took him in because I already knew him. He knew me. He's a very friendly cat. I'm talking about Dusty. Rusty is my original cat. He's the big cat. Fame is my original cat. And then Dory's cat, Torres, is the 4th cat. Torres is mostly blind. Yet, all those cats are starting to now work together as a group to get things done, which is great. So that's a big difference from when I first got Torres and with the other 3 cats. The other cats couldn't stand him. Now at least they will grudgingly accept him as a member of the community. Okay. I'm still a little bit disappointed that the heat's not working yet. I thought the landlord said he was going to have his electrician come today. I guess he did mention, I think he mentioned to me earlier that he said something about tomorrow. Which is kind of shocking to think that, maybe because your landlord just realized since it was already, winter was over, maybe he didn't think he had to worry about frozen pipes. But he does not have to worry about frozen pipes. He does not have to worry about that. But it's not exactly that warm out here, especially night. It gets cold in here. And the walls have no insulation and it's very drafty. So yeah, it still kind of sucks. Yeah, that's when you have 4 cats laying on the bed, and of course Dory. Yep. Let's see what else. Okay, well, let's tell you what. I think it's pretty much time to kind of get ready to wrap this up. So, let's do that. Let's just turn the camera on to me so we can... Phone call. I see that. Go ahead, call you on the air.
Be gone, witch. You witch.
Excuse me?
A nasty witch.
Who are you looking for?
You're a dog. Be gone.
Well, okay, anyway, so, what was I? Let's just get ready to switch over, get ready to do up the wrap-up. The wrap-up. Oh, that's the wrap-up. Yes, let's do the wrap-up. Okay, so here we go. First of all, guys, I want to thank you all for coming to this special live stream. I know it was a little bit disappointing for some of you. It wasn't during the regular time. And I hope to have more of you on Wednesday, as well as... This camera's got to put right down here. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And we're going to have you guys on, hopefully, on Wednesday of this week, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Then, of course, we'll be back at our regular live stream time on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time as well. And I appreciate that, you guys had a chance to hear what I had to say about robotics. And, I hope there could be some thought of how the technology has changed so much in the last century. I mean, from the 1960s until the present. I mean, that's less than 50 years. Look how much computers and robotics have changed our world. Maybe not necessarily for the best, but they have changed our world in very profound ways. And it's been a real pleasure to share those thoughts with you. And if you check out my technology videos on my channel, where I have a series of videos from various people, including the provider who makes Harmony, the sex bot. You will find that video there as well, and you can check it out. And I'm open to any comments you have about this technology, because it is very fascinating. And for now, I want to thank you for watching. So we'll see you guys on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Okay? Stay out of trouble, guys. Okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.